Hi guys, Demon Ferret here, and I know no Fursuit video this week. I know, I'm a horrible person. But I'm on the tail end of a cold, and Ace, aka Tarpaw's convention, is in 2 weeks, and I am not going to destroy my immune system's attempt at getting rid of this cold by putting on a suit. I've said before, I'll say it again, don't suit when you're sick. It'll make you more sick, and your suit will sometimes harbor the sick, and it can just get a whole bunch of sick. And no, I don't want to do it. Also, my nose kind of hurts, so, whatever. So, today, in honor of a very special event, I decided to kind of switch around my video structures for the next couple weeks. And what I mean by that is I kind of had a plan, but I'm totally changing that plan now. So, what is this thing that has happened? Well, technically, it's not a thing that's going to happen until next year. Not this year, next year. But it's a thing. And I thought I was going to be able to keep my yap shut, but the yap shutting ain't gonna happen. I am too stupid. I am too excited. I am too dumb. So, the exciting thing, I've talked about it a lot. Demon Ferret version 2. Hell yeah. It's happening. It's a thing. Again, it's not going to happen until next year. But who's going to be making this beautiful, fine, magnificent creature? These guys. Oh yeah. You might see some familiar faces as this lovely banner scrolls by. I see Nos's up there, Fiber Kitty, and a few others. That's a dragon. Yes, Roofer, I have commissioned to make the Demon Ferret version 2. I am not obligated to pay them shit until next year, which is fantastic for me. But yes, I am there. I am huzzah. I am blocking out my name up there in the corner because I forgot that that's there. Shit. I'm blocking that. It's gonna get a big old block. But, yeah, let's, look at this. I have to log in again. Damn it. They log you out pretty... Bitch, please. They log you out pretty quick on this site. Why? Why are you doing this to me? Wait, I already... What happened? Okay. I'm also blocking out the price, because that's for me to know and for you to never find out. Unless I want you to, which I might not. I don't know yet. I haven't decided. But yes. Yee! But if we click on this, yeah, not until, no. Oh, wow! I only checked this, couple hours ago, and it was 18, so we have another suit already on the list. Damn. Damn. So, yeah, it's not happening until next year, and already, wrong place. Oh, wow! Oh my god! I just said I checked this only a couple of hours ago. That said, this, I realize you can't see my cursor. This said January, and that said something else. I forgot what it was. I am very happy I got the spot I did. But yeah, that's a thing. So far, the discussions that I've had with these guys have been absolutely fantastic. And although the Demon Ferret may seem like a really simplistic character, she does have some fairly specific aspects, and they seem to be really, really complacent with pretty much anything I ask. So I think that this is going to go really, really well. Why am I so damn excited? This is my first choice maker for the Demon Ferret, and getting a slot with a first choice maker is very hard to do, and that bowl looks great. What am I talking about? Everything they do looks great. But getting a slot with a first choice maker is extremely hard to do. So I am very, very lucky. I'm very happy. Very happy. So yeah, sometime in 2019 or 2020, somewhere in that time range, hopefully I'm gonna have a new face. Yay! So, in honor of this whole dealio, that I couldn't keep my yap shut about for even a month, because I am just that goddamn desperate for attention, we are gonna be talking about minors saving for fursuits as this banner scrolls by. Because this is just way more interesting than looking at the Google page. I thought about that, but I like looking at this more. I just want to look at this. Anyway. If I can't show fursuits, I'm gonna show someone else's fursuits, I guess. I guess that's how this is gonna go. Don't hate me, Roofer. I'm not trying to profit off of you. I don't profit off of my videos at all. So, shrugs. Anyway, so today we're going to be talking about minors saving for fursuits. And this can be a very touchy subject, and I know that I've said in the past that when it comes to minors saving fursuits, the basic answer is don't. Just don't. But I'm going to expand on that a little bit, because whenever someone says, with minors just don't, really they're talking about minors buying suits. And I'm just like, just don't. Mostly because you're going to grow out of it. And I like to pose the question, if you're not willing to go to the doctor and buy the scans you would need to prove you're not growing, why would you be willing to pay equivalent or even more money to buy the number of suits that you would need to compensate for the amount of times you're going to grow out of the suit? Because you're going to be buying suits multiple times over to compensate for your growth. Or you're going to need to have things replaced or completely resized, but more than likely, it's going to have to be totally, just, the entire thing is going to have to be replaced. Head, body, the entire shtick. Because people don't realize your head does grow as you get older. People don't realize this. It doesn't grow a lot, but it does grow. So, with that, we're going to be talking about saving for suits. Now, this is going to be under the assumption that you either know that you're not growing anymore, because I knew I wasn't growing when I was 15 years old, because I had x-rays done. Not to determine if I stopped growing, but I just had x-rays done for other reasons. And part of that was determining, oh hey, your growth plates are closed, by the way. That's kind of weird, but just letting you know that. I'm just sitting here going, I'm going to be 5'2" forever, huh? Okay. Guess that's a thing now. So, yeah, that explains my shortness. Anyway, so some people do have their growth plates close early. But that doesn't mean, just because your height doesn't change, that your head size, your foot size, blah, 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 won't change as well. So, we're going to run under the assumption that you know you're not going to grow anymore, or you're willing to take the risk. And while I may not condone willing to take the risk, you're willing to take that risk. Now, if you're really, really dead set on taking that risk and you're young, like 13 or 14, why not make the suit yourself? Because when you do grow out of it, you're going to have to remake the suit, right? It gives you more experience and more opportunity to make more suits. You might find that you're good at it, and you might add to our population of creators. You might find that you have a skill that you didn't think you did. You might be as good as these guys. I don't know. Who the hell knows what you'd be capable of? And you don't know unless you try. So I would encourage, if you are in a position where you're going to have to remake a suit over and over and over again, make it yourself. It's going to be cheaper in the long run, and your parents are probably going to be way more encouraging of it if you do that, because it doesn't matter what you do. If you're a minor, you're going to need your parents' permission. And that's an unfortunate reality of it. If you're a minor, you are going to need your parents' permission. Point blank. Because minors cannot be legally held to contracts. So we're going to go over a few things here. The first thing is PayPal. Because most makers and creators and people who deal in the fandom deal with PayPal. I don't know if these guys do exclusively. I don't know. I don't have to pay them until next year. I just really like watching this banner go by. I'm sorry, guys. Okay. I got a little transfixed. I'm excited. Don't judge me. Okay, anyway. Welcome to PayPal! Most makers use PayPal. And PayPal is a very easy way to pay. And yeah, I know that, there have been issues with PayPal before, and there are always going to be issues with any paying service that you use. But we need to look at this. Now, most of the things we're going to be talking about are going to directly apply to those in the United States, because that is where I live. And it's not because I'm being an exclusive bastard. But it's because that's the easiest information for me to obtain, because I am in the US. I don't even think that PayPal will give me the information for other countries, because it knows I am not in another country at the moment. It can tell where I'm accessing the data from. So, wherever you are, check this user agreement. If you're in another country, check this user agreement. Because it's going to have a different... It's not going to be the US PayPal, it's going to be a different PayPal for a different country. It automatically redirects me here, no matter what I do. It automatically redirects me here, because it knows where I am. So, for me, my information is going to come from the US. If you're in another country, this might be different. And they kind of cover their asses a little bit, or the age of majority in your state. You could reread this, or the age of majority in your country. So, I would assume that that is how that would work. But I might be wrong. Check your country. If you are not in the US, check your country, please. But yeah, for anyone in the US, you have to be 18. You can have a shared account if it's a student account, but I don't know where to find the information. Anywho, and besides, that is complicated, and you definitely need your parents, and it's a student account. It's a little weird. So this goes into the whole, you kind of need your parents. You can use your parents' PayPal and then run on your own, but that's a bit disingenuous, and a lot of makers are going to turn you away. If you want a suit and you're going to buy it as a minor, just work it out with your parents, because regardless of how you do it, if you're successful, there's going to be a big old box with an animal suit at their door, and they're going to ask questions. So, it's better that you work it out with them. Anyway, moving on. How do you get the money for the suit to be able to use PayPal and pay for the suit? Since you're probably going to be using your parents' PayPal to pay for it. It's way easier to convince your parents, hey, can I do this thing, if you use your own money. If you say, I will get every single cent for this thing if you will help me with the actual transaction due to legal reasons and PayPal's terms of service. They will be way more, most parents will be way more accepting and, what's the word I'm looking for? Flexible when it comes to agreeing with you and making a deal with you. So we're going to look at the Department of Labor. And the Department of Labor handles wage and hour division. So this is state child labor laws applicable to agricultural employment. Now, why am I looking at agricultural employment? Because it's the frickin' US. This is just one of the things we're going to be looking at. But this is just the first thing that you'll find when you look for this stuff. So, if you live in an agricultural state, you might be applicable for agricultural employment. This is not a bad idea for saving for Fursuit if you are in an agricultural state. If you're in New York or, Maine, this might be stupid. But if you're in Texas, this might be great. So, let's look at what this says. During school hours, 16. You can be 16 years old and work during school hours. I will say this. Even if you're in an agricultural state, please, for the love of God, do not skip or drop out of school simply so that you can save up to get a fursuit. Please, 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 please. Really, this is more to say, if someone needs to have a job to help with their family, can they leave school to do it? That's kind of why these laws are in place. So, that's why this is here. This is not like permission for you to just bail out of school so that you can save for a fursuit, okay? Outside of school hours, you can work as young as 12 as far as federal law is concerned in agricultural situations. If you have parental consent. And different states have different rules about this, blah, 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 blah. Like, where is it? Here it is, Michigan, 13. So you can go work on, your neighbor's farm at 14 years old, after school, for some extra money, and that's okay. So, let's see if we can find non-farm employment. Alright, let's go over here now. And again, I love the fact that they updated it as of this year. Perfect, thank you. So, this is for non-farm employment. So this is basically for every freaking thing else. Alright, so these are a number of hours you're allowed to work. If you're under 16, this is the federal regulation, which basically this means that you can work for 8 to 40 hours a week, which is 40 hours is a full work week. So you're allowed to under federal law. 16 and 17, there is absolutely no restriction at all. And then under 16, there is basically a curfew. 7 p.m. to 7 a.m. So, this is to not interfere with school hours. You see. So, they don't mean that you can go to work from 7 a.m. to 7 p.m. It's 7 p.m. to 7 a.m. So, you can work through the night, but not through the day. See what I mean? Okay. I hope we're all clear about this. Now, as far as every state is concerned, this could be completely different. Yeah, this is totally different for every single state. You could work 48 hours in Michigan. I don't know why I like to keep picking on Michigan. Poor Michigan. And then for some states, there are regulations for 16 and 17, and some there are not. I don't see any state that says that there is a minimum age for working in general. So we'll see if we can find that. We're going to see if we can find a minimum age of working in general. And if we can, okay, students of 14 and 15 enrolled in improved work. Okay, so this is talking about 14 and 15-year-olds in work and school. So that means that as far as people are concerned, let's try this. You need some certification in Alabama if you're going to work in some mines. Well, no shit. All right. Let's see. Another do. There doesn't seem to be any age to which you cannot work. I really don't think this applies to anybody. Okay, here we go. Door-to-door sales are prohibited in certain places. Okay, cool beans. Interesting. Okay. But that really doesn't say anything. Again. So, what does this tell us? Essentially, what this tells us is, again, check your state. Always check your state, because there may be some local laws that may say something else. But, like, maybe in your district, there might be some municipality laws that say you can't, if you're 14, you can't work. But as far as federal sees to be concerned, there is no limit to how old you can be to work. Huzzah! Or at least there's no limit to how old you can be to be paid to work. Because slave labor's not okay. So, this is very informative, very good to do. More research would definitely be needed for your individual situation. And of course, there are going to be different businesses that are going to be kind of like, about, like, hiring different people. Like an ABC store, which, for those who aren't in the US, is a store that sells alcohol, is not going to hire a 10-year-old. It's not going to happen. But your neighbor might hire you as a 10-year-old to do some housework after school, if you ask. There doesn't seem to be any legal limitation to something like that, which is great. So what does this mean? So while I've already kind of shot down the idea of buying a suit when you're a minor, what I will not shoot down and what I'll actually encourage is saving for a suit as a minor. And I actually drew up a little thing over here to talk about this. So, the highlighted things are the pros and cons of if you save for a suit but don't get it until you're an adult. The non-highlighted things are the pros and cons of buying a suit when you're still a minor. As you can see, there are no pros. There's a reason to this. I could not think of a single pro to buying a suit when you are still a minor that is not a pro to buying a suit when you're an adult. I couldn't find any that are exclusive to being a minor. The feelings of satisfaction, the being able to perform in suit, the being able to make people happy. It's all the same. It doesn't matter how old you are. So, the cons are really what matter. And the cons are, of course, you're going to grow out of it. You are more likely to be judged for it, and your parents can absolutely just tell you no. They can either tell you, no, you can't buy this suit, or if you buy the suit anyway, they can tell you, you can't wear it. You can't have it. They could throw it away. Or they could try to. Legally, they wouldn't be able to do that if you bought it with your own money, and they had nothing to do with the transaction, like zero things to do with the transaction. But they would have every right to say that they don't want it in their house. And then you'll be stuck in that weird position going, they can't actually throw it away, but I can't have it in my possession in this household because it's their household and they have every right to not have a belonging in that household. So you get put in a very awkward position. So the pros and cons to saving for a suit but not buying it until you're an adult. The cons is you don't have a suit. Obviously. You don't have a suit until you're an adult. And especially the younger you are, the more painful this is going to be. But there are a lot of pros to it. The biggest one is the saving money pro. The ability to be able to save money without the stress of bills, rent, student loans, food. Because you're a kid. Your parents are paying for that. You're good. You're golden. You're majestic. You are a unicorn in terms of the saving money world. You're in the most ideal situation. You have no worries. You are a full bare necessities Hakuna Matata. You are just perfect in that perfect little world. You can save every single cent you make from whatever job you want to get, or you manage to get, or whatever the hell happens to you. You can save every cent of allowance you might receive and put it in a lockbox, or a shoebox, or a hamper. I don't fucking know. Just don't do something stupid. Put your money somewhere safe, please. Don't put it in a shoebox or a hamper. Put it in a lockbox, please. If not a bank account, a lockbox. But you know what I mean. You can save every bit of it. And you don't have to use it for anything. If you choose to use it for something, well then that's your own damn fault if you don't have any money at the end of the day. You have no one but yourself to blame. But until that time, you can do whatever you want. And it's beautiful. But there are even more pros. Even more. You may have your eyes set on... Well, actually, let's take a practical example. Let's look at mischief makers, okay? Here we go. Back to the Googs. Let's look at mischief makers. I want to show you guys something. Everyone knows mischief makers. Booker, Majira. Oh my lord, I spelled mischief wrong. Everyone knows these guys. They have skyrocketed in popularity. I remember when these guys first started showing up. I was shocked at their popularity. I was absolutely shocked. Because I remembered their original suits. And I'm just sitting here going, really? These guys? These guys? But then the work they started producing, I'm just sitting here going, whoa. What? So, when you see on this list, more makers, more experience, okay? This is what I'm talking about. More makers are going to constantly show up in this fandom, alright? They're always going to appear. Always. And those makers that are going to show up, the longer you wait, the more likely what I'm about to show you is going to happen. Look at their old suits. Let's see if I can find a good example. Does this guy have it? No, this guy doesn't have it. There was a point in time where they started doing a thing. Aha! Aha! I found him. Alright, here we go. they started doing this thing that's commonly known as having a taco face. We got the taco face. Uh, taco face. And I'm not ripping on him, I'm making an actual point here. We got a flattened taco face. See what I mean? It's a taco. And one of the most famous suits of this taco-y branch, in my opinion, is Hogwash. Wow, I thought that was just the thumbnail, but damn, that's blurry. He's adorable, don't get me wrong, but man, taco face. Holy crap. So I was sitting here going, why? I mean, this maker's cute, don't get me wrong, but why are they blowing up like this? I mean, they're tacoing all over town. You know? And I mean, I'm not the biggest fan of taco face. Some people are, some people aren't. I'm not. Then, let's look at what they're doing now. Okay. Taco face is gone. Taco face was thrown to the dang wayside, and just holy crap. This is what I mean by if you just wait, even just a little bit, and it isn't that long between the taco face era over here in 2013 and when they started just not doing that anymore. It just suddenly ended. Only a couple years later, it just stops. It's gone. Completely gone. This is what I mean. Even if it's only a couple of years, you are going to see a lot of improvement, even in your favorite makers. And it's going to be even better. Even better. So, it's a pro to wait. And Mischief Makers is my favorite example. Because I used to be kind of iffy about their work. I love their work now. Would I ever get one of their suits? Probably not, because while I love their work, it's not something that I would personally want to wear. It's not something I would personally want to own. I don't think any of my characters match their style. But I definitely like it. I find it very expression-filled, very lively, just it has so much life to it, and it has a lot of style to it too. You know it's a Mischief Maker suit without it being carbon copies of one another, which I like to see. So, and that whenever I see Mischief Maker suits, that's all I think is just, holy hell, thank you. So that's what I mean by that. More makers, more experience. You're gonna see a boost, you're gonna see more stuff, you're gonna see cooler stuff, you're gonna see people experimenting with more things, you're gonna see people having more technology, and you're just gonna be sitting going, ooh, I want that instead. And then suddenly, it's gonna be so much better, and you're gonna have the money for it. That's the thing. If you save the money now, you're gonna have the money for it later. And you're gonna be able to pay for it, hopefully, in full. And makers love you when you can pay in full. And some may even give you a Q bump if you can pay them in full. Because suddenly, you've now paid them in full, while that other guy may have already paid them, but they're only paying in payments, and frankly, they don't have all their shit together. They don't have all their ducks in a row. So, your commission may get higher priority. Not all makers do this. Some see it as bribery and unfair, and some see it as just how the ropes work. So it depends on who you get. Whatever. But it could make your life so much easier. Actually, no, it will make your life easier. Whether or not you get that quote bump, it will make your life so much easier, much less to worry about. And also, if something goes wrong and you have to do a chargeback, it's a lot easier to have one big payment that you can track than a bunch of little payments that you then have to hunt all of those down. So it's easier to have one big payment that you paid a while ago and you need to go track that down than have uh just a shit ton of tiny little payments of $100 or $200 and have to go and hunt all those down to be able to get all of your money back. A bank is way more likely to work with you if you have that one big payment and say, no, it's this specific one. It's this one right here that is the problem. And they'll be like, all right, I gotcha. We got this. Also, you may have noticed down here, this, yeah, never steal a credit card. I don't care how badly you want the suit, but this has become more and more of a problem in the past few months. Don't do it. Just don't do it. It's disrespectful to your parents, it's disrespectful to the maker, and it's disrespectful to yourself. Basically, you're telling yourself, I don't have the ability to do this, and nor do I care. You can do this. Saving for a suit is not the hardest thing in the world. It's really not. And there's never a reason to have to steal to get a suit. There's never a reason to have to steal. So, just don't steal. It's a bad thing to do. You're going to lose respect, and you're going to lose the support of this fandom real quick. And that's all I got. If you want to save for a suit as a minor, go for it. 110% support from me. I just really don't think it's a wise idea to get a suit as a minor. Unless, of course, you make it yourself. That could open a lot of doors. But just buying a suit from a professional maker as a minor when you're still growing is a waste of money. It's a waste of the maker's time. Most of them aren't even going to do it. So, get a job. Save that money. And get that really, really awesome suit. So the moment that those makers that are so hard to get quotes from, the minute they're open, you can just sit there and wait and wait and wait and just have that patience. See that teaching patience right there? See this teaching patience? You just wait and wait and wait. And then the moment it said, quotes are open, slam that email down, they will be way more likely to take your project. You can say, I have X amount of money to put down right now when you send in your quote request. You can actually do that. And that may or may not make you look more appealing as a client to a suit maker. And only do that if you actually have that money in your hand. Don't say, oh, I can put down $3,000 if you don't have $3,000. Don't be dumb. So, this is a great idea for minors to save. Buying, not so much. Saving, absolutely. Do it, please. It will be so satisfying once you finally get that suit, and it's going to be a great suit, and you get it when you're 18 years old, and everyone else who's 18 is just like, how did you do that? And you're just like, I saved like an adult. And it will just be glorious. You can strut your adult self all down the hallways and everywhere. And you'll feel so proud of yourself. But yeah, that's really all I got. But hopefully you got something out of this. I really hope you did. And I hope that I covered this in a perspective that most others haven't. Because I know that pretty much everyone has covered the kids shouldn't buy fursuits. I didn't want to go too far into that. I wanted to go into why kids should save for fursuits. So, this was my Saving for Fursuits Part 3, Minors Edition. Yay! I hope you enjoyed. I hope you guys learned something. And for those of you who got to the end of this video and are still here and you're still alive, congratulations. You're troopers. And and thank you for listening to me ramble. So, hopefully I'll be better by next week, and I'll have another Fursuit video for you guys. Sorry about me being sick and the no Fursuit, but hopefully that made sense and you don't hate me. So, I'll see you guys later. Bye!